I want to welcome everybody to the June 4th, 2024 meeting. It's 6 o'clock. If I could get approval agenda at this time.
So moved, Chairman.
Second.
Second. On favor, aye.
Aye.
Commissioner Kitchen, you want to open us up?
I'll be glad to, Chairman. Thank you.
Good, Sam.
If y'all will pray with us, please. Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for all the blessings you give us. We thank you for allowing us to live in such an amazing county, amazing state, and the best country in the world. We thank you for all the people that, in the recent Memorial Day, just in light of that, Lord, we want to lift all those up, families of those up that have given everything to provide the freedoms that we enjoy today. Just be with us, Lord, tonight as we go through this meeting. Help us to make decisions that would be pleasing to you, Lord. Help us to make all the decisions in the best interest of this county. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner Kitchens.
Sir.
All right, well, before we start the planning of the zone tonight, if anybody here tonight's in opposition to any of these requests, you will get opportunity to speak. Mr. Petrowski, are you ready to?
Chairman, our first item this evening is a request by Tim and Jennifer Merritt. This is to allow a conditional use for the temporary use of a dwelling while the permanent dwelling is constructed. The Planning Commission has recommended approval of this request. This request did involve a variance in addition to the conditional use. The variance was to allow a recreational vehicle to be used in lieu of a manufactured home. The Planning Commission did approve that variance, recommended approval of the conditional use.
All right, is Mr. and Miss Merritt here tonight? Like to come forward and speak?
How are y'all?
How you doing?
Doing good. Go ahead.
Just, you know, we're going to give you the opportunity to speak about your request and why you were wanting it and any questions the board might have for you.
Sure, absolutely. So we moved to Jones County, back to Jones County, right at a year ago. Previously, we've lived here in Gray. It's about 12 years ago. We lived here for 6 years. Loved the community before my company started moving us around. We moved back here from Baldwin County for many reasons. The primary one being that we have 4 school-age children in the school system, much better than Baldwin County. And they were in 3 different schools last year. So that was the reason we moved back to Jones County from Baldwin County. Since then, we've gotten ourselves very involved back into the community, right? Got kids in school here, attending a local church, at which point this year we have our oldest 2 boys were saved at First Baptist of Gray, which is awesome. My wife is a in-home nurse for Inhabit. Her territory is Jones County. I work in telecommunications, in which I manage the mobility accounts for the City of Gray Fire Department, Police Department, Public Works. So we love the community, we love shopping local, we love being here. The 5th wheel that we have, when we moved out there, we planned to build earlier than later. As you can imagine, living in a 5th wheel with 4 children is not ideal. We want to be out of that more than anybody. Due to various things, wells costing 3 to 4 times more than what they should. Various causes, we've been stuck in a camper longer than we want to. Luckily, we've gotten to the point finally where we have made progress, right? The land was already cleared, and we've been working with a architect. Took about 2 months to finally get some drawings that we really love. Got them here. Been working with Hammer Construction. They just got us back last week our detailed estimates on cost to build. He's going out for shoulder surgery tomorrow. So we'll be meeting back with him next week when he comes back to nail down our plans. Been working with Morris Bank on financing, so we finally got all of our things rolling in the right direction. Our camper sits approximately 650 feet back from the road. The front of it is lined with a heavy tree line, so during the summertime when there's foliage there, you can't see anything back there. It's our little piece of paradise that we love. So The request is for us to stay in the fifth wheel until we break ground, build the house, and we can sell that thing and move into our dream home.
Any questions for the Merritts? None. Is anybody here tonight? I've got Mr. Duggar. You asked to speak? Mr. Duggar. Sorry about that. You asked to speak on the...
Yes, I'm Lynn Duggar. I live right down the road from these folks. I'm not going to stand here and tell you that I'm in opposition with what they're trying to do, because I'm not. But while I understand the need and the desire to live in temporary housing, I feel like there needs to be some guidelines on that. And I don't feel like there are any. At least I don't feel like there are any that are enforceable. I've talked to 3 out of the 5 commissioners about folks living in RVs in Jones County, and all 3 said, no, there's an ordinance and you can't do that. But all 3 of the ones I talked to said, yeah, we know so-and-so living down the road in an RV, and they've been there for a couple of years. So I really don't feel like there's any guidelines on what governs that. And again, I understand the need. I mean, I had a hardship case in 2010 where my house burned, and I lived in a single wide, and of course got a variance to do that. So I understand that need. I just feel like there's got to be some guidelines on the length of time that somebody can stay in an RV while building a house or whatever. And again, I've spoke to, in fact, it's the 3 guys sitting here and Wendy. And, you know, and I'm not saying that to try to embarrass anybody, but I think all 3 said that, yeah, there's a loophole there that doesn't put a restriction on that. So I'm not going to say I'm going to issue a challenge to you, but I would really like to see, I don't know, you know, I'm not going to tell you how to do your job either, but I would like to see you guys come together and take another look at that ordinance and make sure there's some enforceable guidelines. That's all.
Any questions for Mr. Duggar?
No questions. I just comment, Chairman. I was one of the ones that Lynn talked to. And I would agree, and this has nothing to do with the folks here asking for these. I support that 100%. I can understand when I can understand with 4 children. I don't know how you've been there this long, so, but I can only imagine how quick you want to get into your house. So I can buy that all day long. I think our issue is totally outside of this request. It is something to do with our ordinance, and I think our issue is how do we word an ordinance to capture that? Because right now it is against the ordinance to live in one without the variance or the conditional use. Once you get the variance or the permit, there's a timeline on that. There's a 6-month timeline on when you have to do it. So I think we've got, after you do the right thing, we've got that part fixed. What we don't have is how do you get to the point that people are doing things they shouldn't be doing, and that's moving them in without the variance. Or some of it is not knowing, some of it is not caring. I'm just being honest. And so I don't know how to put that in an ordinance that captures everything, that we don't open up a bigger door for us when we're talking about hardships or legitimate reasons for needing them, such as this. So,
My initial thoughts on that was that it would be picked up during the permitting process for water, sewer, or electrical. In fact, I've got a friend who's a retired Georgia Power engineer who tells me that the county has to sign off before a meter's set, whether it's temporary power or your permanent power. So if the county signs off on that, surely they know the clock starts ticking then. But again, I'm not going to tell you how to do your job. I just think there's something missing and really feel like it needs to be addressed. So,
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Duggar.
Right.
Anyone else in opposition to this request? Who's commissioners?
My district.
All right.
Motion to approve variance for Tim and Jennifer Merritt.
All right, we have a motion, we have a second.
I'll second.
Second from Commissioner Kitchens. Any more discussion?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
Why would it be a variance instead of a conditional use?
That's asked him.
Yeah, Tim question.
Had the proposed structure been a manufactured home or some kind of site-built structure, a variance would not have been involved. The regulations clearly say it has to be a manufactured home to request this. So because it was an RV, a variance was needed to be able to use an RV in lieu of a manufactured home. And that's all that was addressed by the variance portion of the request.
Do we have any structure to that variancy? It's gotta be within a year, you've gotta be in your home, or
That
do we
is,
have any guidelines there? Do we have any, are we 14 months from now, are we gonna still have the RVs there? Because I have quite a few in my district that have been there for, one, I know 5 years, within sight. And so where do we stop the line at, is what I wanna know. Is this variancy gonna guarantee that within a year they're in a home, or
the variance has nothing to do with it. The conditional use addresses that. The specific conditional use that they've requested is a temporary use of a dwelling. Had this been a single wide, a site-built structure, or the recreational vehicle, once 6 months has elapsed, if they have not begun construction, then the recreational vehicle will have to be removed. If construction is found underway at the 6-month mark, then I can authorize an additional 6 months. But at the end of that second 6 months, at the end of 1 year from tonight, the recreational vehicle would have to be removed. And that's part of the conditional use. The variance does not address that.
okay. So that conditional use is in on that variance? in on that.
Specifically, what has been requested, the section of our ordinance is a temporary use of a dwelling. And that's what they're operating under with this request.
Okay, any more questions? Any? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Ayes has it, thank you. Thank y'all, welcome.
Chairman, if it's appropriate, maybe at the end of this meeting or under the commissioner's comments, I'll get a consensus to us to look at the ordinance, to take a look at that ordinance and see what we can, because it's more about the folks that are not getting a permit through TIM. So it's, I
Right.
mean, the ones we're seeing out there have been there for a while, they're just doing it. And it's a more of an enforcement rather than
Sure.
ordinance issue.
And what type of enforcement is there for those that we do know about, but are still doing it?
Well, it's like all the other ones, it's complaint driven. If there's no complaint on it, we don't have a code enforcement division that goes out over the county and looks for all kind of, issues like that.
Yeah, it's purely reactive.
So yours.
Chairman, item P2 is a request by Travis and Ashley Chipman. It's the same request we just heard for the Merritts, to allow a temporary dwelling while a structure is being built on the property. Variance was granted for an RV to be used in lieu of a manufactured home. The Planning Commission has recommended approval of this request.
All right, the Chipman's here tonight. How y'all doing
How
tonight?
is everybody doing? We, like the Merritts, pretty much have the same kind of story. We moved from Baldwin County to get our daughter, who is 10. We only have one, thank goodness, not 4. But we got our daughter to Jones County Schools. He works for Bug House. He works for Bug House all around Jones County. Jones County is his area. He goes to a lot of people's houses that are around this area. But I work for Ethica, the corporate building here in Jones County, and I'm one of the RN liaisons for the nursing homes. So we came to this county because we wanted to get out of Baldwin County. But we sold our houses with the intent of only being in this situation for a short amount of time. And because of market prices, because the driveway looks like we live in the mountains, it costs an unforeseen amount of money to get that driveway drivable and able to get vehicles that would bring trusses to build the houses and things like that. But anyway, we are asking conditional use of our RV as well. We live directly next door to the Merritts. We share a driveway. We are also just as far as they are off of the road. And we just ask that you approve this request so that we can move into our forever homes.
Anybody here tonight in opposition to this request? No one? Commissioner Wood?
Okay, motion to approve item P2, Ashley and Travis Chipman, the conditional use permit.
All right, we have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Kitchens. Any more discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Chairman, item P3 is a request by Tomin Winiski. It's a request to replace an existing communication tower with a 285-foot tall freestanding communication tower. This also did involve a variance because the tower, both the existing tower and the new proposed tower are closer to the property lines than the finished tower height. A variance was required for that to be granted. The Planning Commission did approve the variance for that. Also, this involves a conditional use because this is replacing an existing communication tower. Once that tower is destroyed by any means, another conditional use needs to be granted for it to be erected. Planning Commission has recommended approval of that request. Mr. Jonathan Yates here is representing the application, and he said he was willing to answer any questions y'all have.
Mr. Yates?
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. First and foremost, we really have to thank Tim and Ms. Terry. During the process to get here tonight, I asked Tim 101 stupid questions. He never laughed at me, at least till he hung up the phone. What we're doing tonight, this is what Georgia Power calls their Round Oak microwave repeater station. Georgia Power put in the existing tower back in '69. It is essential for their communications, for controlling data, for the power grid, not only in Jones County, but across the state. And what has happened, they need to come in with, take the old guide tower down, put in a newer cell support tower. The transmit and receive frequencies that they operate on have gone from 6 gigahertz to 11 gigahertz. And also trees have grown in the path between the towers, so essential for them. During this process, I got to meet Chief Humphreys with the Jones County Sheriff Department. Our timing, I think, is pretty good in that respect too. The tower that their radio repeater is on for that area is getting ready to be decommissioned. So we're going to be able to accommodate Jones County Sheriff at the 200-foot level of the new tower. So otherwise, pretty much the same. We'll take down the old tower, put up the newer tower. It's going to be about the same property, but about 29 feet south of where it is now, and continue communications for Georgia Power, Southern Link, and now Jones County Sheriff's Department. I'm here for any and all questions.
Any questions? Questions? Anyone here tonight in opposition to this request? Commissioner Wood, I think that's in your notes, Commissioner
Sam's.
Sam, that's right across.
Motion to approve the request for a variance and conditional use to allow reduced setbacks for the new cell tower.
Second.
Second by Commissioner, ladies first. Any more discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Chairman, our final zoning item this evening, item P4, is a request by Adam Bray. This is for a conditional use to allow an addition onto the existing church at Elam Church. The Planning Commission has recommended approval of this request.
Mr. Bray here tonight. If we had known you here, I wasn't even thinking about it. I could have had you open this up.
No problem. What we're looking at for our church is our gym building, Family Life Center, that is behind our existing church building. We have 2 trailers out there that was used for storage. They're in the process of being cleaned out completely. And what we're needing is more additional storage. So what we're looking at is building a 20 by 30 addition onto our existing Family Life Center that will be used to house for storage, and also for our kids ministry, our youth ministry. They meet out there for ministries throughout the year. So we're just needing a little bit more space, and we had to get rid of a lot of stuff as well. So we're trying to have the right place to put all that stuff at. So that's what this is for.
Okay, any questions? Anyone opposed tonight on this request? None?
That's me. So
That's
I'll
you.
make a motion to, for the request of the conditional use to be allowed by the church for the addition.
All right, got a motion, we have a second?
Second.
Commissioner Wood on the second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
That's it, thank you. All right, we'll move on tonight for consent agenda and approval of minutes. We had a call meeting on May 8th, along with a public hearing on May 21st, along with the third Tuesday and executive session on the 21st of May. If everybody's had opportunity to review the minutes, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved, Chairman.
Second.
Second, any more discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Commissioner Wood, you had a visitor tonight, you want to just elaborate on that?
Yes, sir. Ms. Ruby Potts was unable to make it tonight. She just has a few items with some of the mowing and some ditch maintenance in front of her place. And I'll get with Jason about it so he can take care of it with Department Head of Public Works. And I think we can get it resolved. And I did invite her to a future meeting if she had any future needs, and,
Sure.
told her she was always welcome to come.
Sure. All right, thank you. All right, we'll move on to new businesses. This is one I'm very proud of. National Law Enforcement Week proclamation. On behalf of this board, I'd like to read this proclamation. Whereas Jones County law enforcement officials and public safety officers have braved and dedicated individuals who protect our citizens, families, and our community here in Jones County. Whereas these men and women serving on the front lines of public safety are prepared to face uncertainty and danger for the sake of the protection of our neighborhood. Jones County law enforcement officials and public safety officers face intense challenges, make profound sacrifices, and ensure the safety of our citizens, and to play a critical role in keeping us safe and putting themselves at risk. Law enforcement officers face increasingly scrutiny, yet continue to perform their duties with dignity and honor. Jones County continues to train and develop the best law enforcement and public safety officials. And because of their hard work and devotion, Jones County remains a safe and welcome county in which we live, work, and play. The service of Jones County Sheriff and his dedicated team helps to maintain the well-being of our county. These individuals provide an invaluable service and should be recognized for their commitment and bravery. May it be resolved that the Jones County Board of Commissioners do hereby recognize the Jones County Sheriff's Office and encourage all residents to join us in recognizing and appreciating the outstanding services provided by our sheriff, his deputy, and staff to our community. Furthermore, the Jones County Board of Commissioners hereby proclaim the week June 8th through the 15th, 2024 as Law Enforcement Week. And at this time, Mr. Earl, would you come up here with the board? And I'm the deputy.
I got a few of them.
Appreciate it. Thank you. We want to thank each and every one of y'all, and I'll tell you every time I see you, be very careful. What you doing, y'all? Let's get nice. Thank you. There you go. What's up? Good looking one, so we can put
Behave, Sam.
Thank y'all.
He's got a gun.
I will be up
handy.
in a minute.
Look, he's got a gun handy.
John, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank y'all.
Thank you, Miss.
Mr. Gregg,
Top that one,
I
Greg.
thought we had already taken care of this one, and you said we had to do it twice.
Yeah, I don't know if I can top that last one, but thank you again for inviting us here this evening. So last month, my colleague came here, and y'all approved sending up to the State of Georgia Department of Community Affairs a report for your annual capital improvements element update. The state has since reviewed that report, found that it is satisfactory, and has returned it to the county to now formally adopt said report as well too. And that is required to be done this month. So that's why we're here to adopt it. It is a very uneventful report because it is the expenditure of impact fees. You are currently not collecting them. So you had a zero balance, you collected zero, you spent zero, and you still have zero. So if there are any questions, I'm happy to answer those. Otherwise, we'll just ask for approval of the resolution.
Any questions?
Motion to approve the resolution, the adoption of the resolution. CIA.
Second.
Second from Commissioner Vaughn. Any more discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Let's have it. And we got you signed, so you can,
Thank you very much.
unless you want to stay for the rest of the meeting, you're more than welcome.
I appreciate the offer.
Vehicle purchase. Mr. Humphries?
First and foremost, I want to thank the commissioners for the proclamation. It's humbling to have the support that we have at the Sheriff's Department. It really does make a difference. And on a side note, he's already gone, but Mr. Yates, the gentleman with Georgia Power, I think it should be noted just how much they helped us. The Georgia Forestry Commission has taken down the fire tower in Roundup. And we held off because there was speculation that they were going to go back up with a higher tower. And we would just replace our equipment on that tower as it was needed. Then we found out they weren't going to replace it. It was just going to come down. So then we had to find yet another suitable location. And through Mr. Risner and Tim, we got in touch with Mr. Yates, and that was the easiest conversation that we ever had, no problem, and it saved us a lot of money to have to, that was phase one. Phase two is we got to, and I want to thank the Commissioner of Georgia Forestry for deciding to hold off on taking that tower down until they got theirs up. Because it was just a lot of money to have to put it up, to take it down, to put it up again. And it just worked out well, and it saved the county at least $50,000. And I just wanted to make sure that was noted, how easy that was to work with them and so forth. And thank y'all for approving that. So it does help us. But the reason I'm before y'all tonight, and I'll just give y'all some information. Of course, y'all know we purchase vehicles every year through the SPLOST, and I think it should be noted how much we depend on that. That has been a godsend for keeping us up to date and able to provide the services that we do. You wouldn't think a car would mean so much, but it does. What I'm here for this evening is we have found some vehicles that we would like to purchase out of the 23-24 SPLOST money. However, we would are asking that the board waive the bidding process for this purchase because of the reasons that I'm going to give you. The first sheet of paper that I gave you was just a sheet of 2024 Ford Interceptors to 2025 Ford Interceptors, and you can see there's nothing there that's less than $46,000, and that's just for the car. We are, the Sheriff's Department, or we are stewards of the taxpayers' money, and we are trying to get as much bang for the buck as we possibly can. And so we are making sure that we account for and spend wisely every cent of tax money that we get. The second sheet I gave you was is the reason why we're actually here. We have found I think it was 6 patrol cars in Montrose Auto Group in Akron, Ohio, and we were looking to purchase those. We would just have to go and pick them up and bring them back. And we took a look at some here. You'll see some quote there from Ginn Commercial Vehicles. But I want to direct you to is the June 3rd, 2024 proposal. We were, just so we were making sure that y'all weren't going at this blind, we tried to get some other prices for y'all to consider, since we were asking to waive the bidding process. And in doing so, we learned that they had just moved from another lot at 6 of the exact same cars that we would have to travel all the way to Akron to pick up, except they were already the same color that we have now. And these aren't cars that they have to place an order from, have them built or anything. These are cars that are on the lot now, and we're competing with every law enforcement agency out there trying to find these cars. And so we have got the quote here on June 3rd, and we were able to pitch or purchase 5 of those cars, those vehicles. It's going to take for $182,875. Then we would have to, the remaining allotment of SPLOST funds for the year would go toward outfitting those vehicles. And we have taken great strides in reusing some of the older equipment we have in some of the older vehicles. So we're not putting anything that's brand new. Some things that have to be brand new, and those are going to be the camera systems that go into the cars. We don't have any option about that, because we update those on a yearly basis as we go, and so we don't have any option about that. So, but that's where we're at now. These are on the lot. We can go pick them up. So I don't know if we would stand the bidding process of the 30-day period of bidding process where who goes and picks them up.
It's ironic, I was in April in Savannah, and I sit in a class with one of the gentlemen, and first he said, what are y'all doing about buying vehicles for your sheriff's department? And it's like, he said, we can't find anything, and the fact that you've been able to find these, and it looks like we're getting Chargers again, that's what.
Yes, sir. That's what we use this because some of the parts we have on older vehicles will still work.
Sure.
And we save some money that way. But these are 2023. They're not brand new cars. They're not gonna order them, wait for them to ship. They're there now, so that's the time frame which we're working on.
Yeah, I don't
But I don't know that we're gonna find any vehicles from this point on. It's just gonna be that much more difficult to find those.
Yeah, the fact you found them is a miracle.
It truly is.
Any questions for the chief?
Not for the chief. I very much appreciate them they've done a lot of the homework for us on getting these quotes and all. Mine would be more of the legal side of it. Can we forego the bid process without emergency reasoning, or could we do it under a hard to find stipulation?
And we've got Ashley.
Yes. Is that Ashley?
Mm-hmm.
So it's my understanding we have a provision in our ordinance that allows for foregoing the bid process if it's a unique or sort of a very difficult product to obtain or find.
Okay.
It's my understanding that the Sheriff's Department has had very extensive work done in trying to locate what they need, and it's sort of just that scenario. It's been very, very difficult to come by the vehicles that they need. And so I think after discussion that I'm satisfied that it would meet that exception to the requirement to go out to bid.
And if I just may add, we can find the vehicles, but it might be one at this dealership and one at this dealership, maybe 2 here, 1 there. It's just, I don't know how that's going to work, and the bid process for each one of those is going to be. These are priced at $36,575 just to, so there's some information about 5 years ago, these vehicles were $26,000. And they're not, as you can see, they're listing for 47 now, so, they're not getting any cheaper, and they're willing to deal on these vehicles, and they're the same color, same everything that we have, and we don't have to change our color scheme on our striping or any of that stuff to help make those, we like them to pop. We want Jones County to be proud of the sheriff's department vehicles that we put out there, so, there is that argument.
And this is the same charges that they canceled on us, what, last year?
It was the year before last.
Year before last. I had like 3 cancellations in a row, and then we ended up picking up Ford Explorers, which,
I know.
what's the board want to do?
Good with it.
All right.
All right, motion to approve
The uniqueness, yeah.
in the motion, Counselor? You want the uniqueness in the motion?
No, I think the uniqueness just supports the allowance by which you all reached the decision of be able to forego the bid process. You don't need to include it in the motion.
Okay. Motion to approve the request for the 5 chargers from the sheriff's office.
All right, we have a motion, we have a second. Second from Commissioner Wood. Any more discussion? None, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank y'all so very much.
Thank
Chief,
you.
thank you very much. Thank your department, like I said.
I'll do that there.
All right. Ms. Dixon, you got a budget amendment request?
I did start out wanting to do this request. My criminal clerk came on board in '21, and I knew that he would rise quickly, and of course he has. I'm going to name him supervisor over court services. That entails criminal, civil, our passport agent, or passport area, and jury. So, when I was getting ready for this, I was not thinking about August being the end of the budget term, and we would be going right in September. So I think I'm pretty much here just to say, get ready in August, that I'm gonna ask for this. So, and do y'all have any questions now, before then?
I think you described it as actually a money savings because you're actually gonna get,
Not hiring anyone extra, yeah. He's
Right.
gonna take over, not take over, but just oversee a lot that I will not have to do that. I'm taking on more district responsibilities, so it's gonna make life a little easier for me, for sure, so.
She made it easy, Chairman. No, he didn't even have to ask her to wait until budget season.
Or where the money's coming from.
Yeah, which we were
Right,
gonna
yeah.
have to do, we were gonna probably do anyway.
So, but yeah, that's really, all I have.
well, that's great to go ahead and get a jump on everybody.
Maybe
And,
so.
Appreciate everything you're doing, and like I
Well,
said,
thank
just like the sheriff's department, being cost conscious and helping us save everywhere we can, 'cause
Yeah.
it's in this day and time.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a rob Peter to pay Paul person, so I didn't wanna start scrounging from what may be left over in my budget, that I really don't think I have anything left over, but,
Thank you very
so I'll
much.
see y'all in August.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Who's doing you? You're doing, all right. You don't, it says Tim Ingram, but that's all right. We'll have Brent. That'd be you?
That's right, he's celebrating his birthday.
That's right.
Oh, is this your birthday? You 30 yet?
Tim.
Oh, Tim. Oh, I thought it.
Ain't 30 yet.
Is he 30 yet?
As you all are aware, last Friday, May 31st, we opened the bids for the Phase 2 Graham Road and Graham Wood subdivision. In the bid tabulation page that you have, there were a total of 5 contractors that bid on this project. Jones County Water Systems and Ingram and Associates Engineering both recommend to award the bid to the lowest bidder, Sellers Contracting Services, for the amount of $3,095,951. This bid was a reduction from what we thought. Pipes actually starting to go down significantly from $83 the last time we bid something out to $69.24. So,
Thank you.
yeah, that was a, it was less than we anticipated. So we'd like to see if we can get a motion to award this bid to Sellers Contracting Services.
Ms. Yule?
Absolutely, sir. Motion to approve the Phase 2 award to Sellers Construction Services.
All right, we have a motion, we have a
Second.
second from Commissioner Vaughn. Any more discussion? None, all in favor, aye? Ayes have it.
Thank y'all.
Brandon. Mr., if we can postpone the line item 6 for Commissioner Martin, he asked if we'd,
Motion to postpone Safe Routes to School number 6, Chairman.
Second.
all in favor, aye?
Aye.
All right, thank you. All right, moving forward, 10-yard lease, Mr. Risner.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to ask to postpone this one as well. We're working through right now, the Old Clinton Historical Society wants to craft the lease in such a way that we just lease the trail area, and so we're working through exactly how to lay that out in the lease document. And so we anticipate having that ready for the next meeting.
Okay. I get it.
That's gonna be my question. I know we got a timeline on it. I wasn't sure if we got time for the next meeting. And we'll draft what we can and send it to Old Clinton Historical. Okay. All right. Motion to postpone number 7, 10-yard lease, Chairman.
Second.
Second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
All right. Mr. Burt, you're up here a couple times.
I'll try to keep it fairly quick. Basically, we have I wouldn't call it a concern, but just an issue that kind of want to deal with and put in front of you guys. During a lot of our different sports, and kind of just paint a picture of what's going on, we rely on our great volunteers in this community to kind of help us out run our sports leagues and that type of thing. They help us out with some facility issues, and one of the ones that's kind of going on right now, but it's common among other sports, is like with basketball. You know, we have our league. The league's over. They go to All-Stars, and you know, they play in their All-Star tournaments. And when that ends, whether it's baseball or football or basketball, sometimes those All-Star teams that are affiliated with the league kind of transition into more like travel ball teams, and they play in kind of additional type tournaments for different sports. And the way that we work with what I'll call our, you know, community partners, which are primarily like board members or high school, middle school coaches, is, you know, sometimes they help us out with the facilities. Like, for example, an all-star team might be practicing out at 49, and there's one team out left, and I have a staff member there, and it's, you know, the president of the league. So we'll say, hey, can you cut the lights off? And yeah, they do it. You know, it's same thing with basketball. During, like, when they're just having practice and stuff like that, if there's a board member there, they have access to a key, and they'll lock up for us and practice. And we always have a staff member on duty at one of our facilities, and they're usually at whatever facility requires the most presence at that time. So, you know, it might be they pop over to the government center, and then we have games going on at the soccer fields with a lot more people there, so they're spending a lot of time there. So we get our community partner, as I call them, like board members or different coaches or whatnot, to you know, lock up the gym. And that's the same thing with there, and it's going to happen a lot more this year because they're doing construction on the gym. But the high school and the middle school team, they use our gym for practice. And as of right now, we don't require a staff member to be there with them. You know, they oversee our facility, and we've never had really any issues with that since I've been here, at least. And they also share their facilities with us, and they're not there like when we use the Gray Station gym or whatnot. So, but where I'm going with this is, now that like the league is over and it's more like travel ball, you know, in order for this person to access the gym, or people, or it could be any sport, you know, the price is pretty substantial. So like right now to rent the gym, it's $400, you know, a day, plus a $400 security deposit, which really isn't feasible to have a little, you know, 9 and 10-year-old practice. So like I would recommend that we, for one, lower the price of access for nonprofit sports to make it to where it's feasible. Like we charge a small registration fee and then a small staffing fee if required to make it to where those teams could have access to the gym without having to pay $800. But
just to go along with that, I just wanted to feel you guys out and see if you guys were fine with us still utilizing those community partners at times, to where, same thing with the Knox Center. I mean, we have Lisa in there all the time. We don't have a staff member. We've never had any issues. So we really rely on those people, and I wanted your blessing to continue to utilize those people in certain positions, and, and just kind of get a gauge as a whole. These types of decisions like this, do you want me to present you with them, or do you want, as far as facility policy, management, pricing, do y'all want me to come to you every time, well, we need to go up on our field rental fees because the paint went up. So now, instead of charging somebody $40 to paint the field, we need to charge them $60. Or, the price at the golf course, we need to raise the cost of the Snickers bar because we're basically giving them away right now. Or, this event, I believe that we should handle this way. Like, for example, if someone's renting the gym for profit, like the Jack and Jill sale, and they're obviously making a pile of money. I mean, they shouldn't be gifted the gym, but I don't want to keep out our youth either. So, do y'all want to make those decisions, or do you want those types of decisions to be at the discretion of the Parks and Recreation Director?
I got my opinion, Chairman. You know I do.
Oh, yeah.
Because I deal with this every day in my world. We have a level of responsibility. I think we have a level of responsibility, and we put a level of responsibility on the directors of the department. So it's hard for me to say just whatever, you make all the decisions.
Well, there's plenty that I would still want to come to y'all.
Right. I think that's our responsibility, but I do think, up or down, you should have, whether it's 10 or 15% leeway, that he can make decisions. That'll get us through the budget year, and you come back and say, I think across the board, we need to go up 10% on this, and whether it's that. But day-to-day activities, we shouldn't, in my opinion, we shouldn't be handcuffing you where you can't do the daily businesses. And I agree 100%. We're providing sports for youth in Jones County, and if we're making it where it's not available to them, realistically, I think that's a bad thing. So, I think having them so that we cover the cost of what it costs us to maintain the facility, and then put something on them to say, you guys have somebody here to open and close the door that's responsible.
And same thing for ball fields. Like, I don't think we should charge someone that wants to have a 7 and 8 year old travel ball practice with their little team the same price that we charge a tournament director that wants to make a profit off of a tournament. The field rate should be different. You know what I mean? We're not looking to cash in off of a 7 and 8 year old travel ball team. We want to provide them a facility where they can practice. So, the other thing I guess I wanted to, this brought up, this is kind of a, with the whole gym thing, this has been on my mind for, since I've been here, is there's really no place on this side of the county as far as gym access goes. And I think it would be a good time to consider opening up the gym in a similar way that we do Matty Wells, and that could facilitate, it could solve some of these problems of just having a staff member there, and it could also open up some opportunities for pickleball during the day, travel ball and free play as well. So based on, it could cost anywhere between $1,600 and $3,200 a month, according to how many hours we offered a day. And we have enough to get through this summer if we were to do it this summer, but I was hoping that we could get approved to try it next fiscal year, and see how it goes. And if the numbers are good, continue it.
During the summer?
Well, I wanted to get permission to start doing it this summer, to staff it this summer. I have it in my budget to where we could cover it to get through this summer, but then starting September 1st, I would like to be able to continue it and evaluate it throughout the course of the whole year. And if it goes well and if a lot of people are utilizing it, I'd want to continue it long term. What are y'all's thoughts?
Basically, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, we need two motions, just basically let him do the plus or minus on his discretion on the spending, and then his request to go open for the summer.
Well, it's really like I was also asking, just like on the decisions, like the next item, we can go ahead and talk about it, and y'all can make a motion if you want to. is like the golf course. The chamber has approached us and they wanted to have a Monday golf tournament. And they proposed a certain price of $1,000, which is at a discount of what we would normally charge for a golf tournament. But it is the chamber, and it is a Monday, and we're going to make significantly more on that Monday than we would make, had we not accepted the tournament at the discount. So I don't know if like that kind of thing that makes a lot of sense. Look, we're giving them a $500 discount, but we're going to make $1,500 more that day. So like generally, I would just say, yeah, I think
those
that's
are
a good
day-to-day
deal.
operation
Yes.
items that we don't need to
Yeah,
do because we
yeah.
keep saying we need to.
I feel bad
Hey,
asking. I
this
feel
is what
bad
we're doing
asking
on
y'all
this
for that
day.
because I feel
Right.
like y'all pay me to make those
But I think
decisions.
the point is just communicate with
Yeah.
Jason because, he has that authority to.
And so it was, it was my suggestion to approach the board with this because I'm just very leery of, quote unquote, giving something away
Yeah.
that's of value without the board being aware of it and approving it. So that was the reason for
I think
bringing
we've
it
said
to you.
all along that if we don't trust the people we put in place to make decisions, shame on us, And if we hire people we can't trust to run the operations like they should, shame on us. So I'm fine with that. I would caution, and not just the chamber, but anybody, make sure that we got true partnerships.
Yeah.
So if we're giving them a 25% discount, if we want something from the chamber or something
Yeah.
from anybody else, we get a school district or city or whatever, we get a favorable return that
I agree with that. So I don't know where that leaves us as far as motions and all that.
Do we need a motion on
I
that?
don't think we do. Maybe, attorney, it's on here, but I don't know if that's an actionable item. I mean, I think that's a directive from the chairman to the county administrator to the department heads.
All right, well, you got it. We just passed it around.
All right. I guess the third item on the agenda is the parking situation for 4th of July. If Jason, if you want to pull up the picture.
Chairman, Bert, before we go too far on that one, back on the other one, the gym here, we do have a wellness program for employees. Just want to make sure it doesn't interfere with any of that.
Yeah,
I think it's safe to say that our wellness program that returns us money on our insurance should supersede opening it to the public.
Yeah.
Put that out.
Yeah, and it's just the court area that we were looking at, not the back
I got you.
fitness room. But if you can tell in this picture right here, there's several places where cars were parked,
In the middle of
yeah, like
two
Three.
aisles.
and it was a mess
Yeah,
getting
I
out
was
of there
stuck
for
in
anybody
one
that
of
was there
those.
last
I
week.
just seen that, it's 3D.
Yeah, so those cars in the middle, they're just waiting. So one of the things that we wanted to do
Yeah,
this year
those are
was
4 deep.
figure out a way to address the parking, and the only way that we can really do it is to have people actually parking cars. And we don't actually have enough staff, in my opinion, to do it. But one of the things that I was going to propose is that we basically put an invitation out to organizations to like I'm thinking like travel ball teams or churches or things like that, and say, you guys, if you guys agree to park cars, and we'll get together and come up with a plan and all that. They'll have to wear the vest and all that. And I picture like 10 or 12 people, like one person every 15 yards, like when you go to the fair, just waving people. You don't get to pick where you park. You pick where you're told to park. And we'll have a plan and all that. But in exchange for that, I would want to give the organization a credit to Parks, Rec, or Golf to where they could utilize our facilities for hosting like a golf tournament to raise money for their organization, or if it's a travel ball team and they want to host some kind of ball tournament, or if they want a certain credit for so many rentals of, because we charge like a light fee. If you're a travel ball team and you want to come practice, you have to pay like a certain light fee. So open it up, send it out and say, would any organization be interested in parking cars for the 4th of July event, and in exchange for county credit that would basically be used for, and I would list the items that it could be used for. And hopefully that would help out with some of the parking issues. What are y'all's thoughts on that?
I like the idea, but I like the idea, I don't want kids out there parking.
Yeah.
Um,
Adults.
Yeah, I could
And,
stipulate
we
that.
got the junior ROTC from the high school that already does the parking for the high school football game, so they're used to moving that kind of traffic and everything. That might be a good one to reach out to, because that could be part of their community service too. And I'm sure that
Do you have
they
a
would love-
contact for them? I could
I'm
reach
sure
out.
they would love to have a golf tournament to raise some money, funds for
Yeah.
them too, so.
Yeah.
that would-
And we wouldn't give the golf tournament away. We would basically do it
Yes.
at cost, and then they could, utilize it to make more
Exactly.
profit, so.
Sounds great.
So, do I need a motion for that? All right, I'm good.
Another director.
All right. Thank y'all.
Hey, thank you. Ms. Shannon, you've got us a beer and wine license tonight?
It's a beer and wine license application for We Got You by Embellished Events. It's on Sherland Drive, and after reviewing everything, I make the recommendation to approve.
All right. Any questions for Ms. Wagner?
Where is this at?
It's over there in that little
By Dollar General,
shopping area.
that's closed down, open?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, who wants to?
So it's a beer and wine license for, on Sherland Drive? It's not even, or is that where their home office is?
No. All right, so when she came in, she said that it's over there by it's a gas station.
Where Subway was?
It's right by the red light on Joycliff.
All right, give her a mic. She can't hear you.
Okay.
The red light at Joycliff and
49?
Highway 49?
Yeah.
Jason, can you pull that up on the map, please? Want to know location.
49, that's James Barron and them's.
That's what,
Yeah,
But
right
I
at
thought
the
that
red and
was-
white,
I thought that was Joycliff Road.
Joycliff and 49. I think Sherland Drive ends long before that. If it's a Sherland Drive address, I'm wondering if it's back down towards,
It's that one, the one that keeps opening and closing. It's got the strip mall beside it, and then it's got where Clark Field
when
used to
Shoreland
be.
Ball League used to be.
Yeah,
Say it,
where
Wendy.
Clark Field used to be. Yeah, 49er Plaza. That's it. So is it an event venue?
Yes. She said that people would rent out that space for events.
Huh. So that's not a brick and mortar, I'd be cautious of that, because that sounds more like either a pour license or a catering license needed for, if they're renting it out.
I mean, it's got that it's the Chevron station at that address.
That's the old Chevys, right?
No.
No.
49 or more, where the Subway is right there, and then when you go right past it, you're in Bibb County.
Oh, okay. I
The
know
Dollar
where-
General is right up
Sitting
past
upon the
it.
hill.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you got me. The whole time I thought it was Bibb County right there, but no, it
It's
does
Johns
cross.
County.
It crosses back and forth there.
And you used to go right past the church down there up the road to go to Clark Field, Shirlington.
Okay.
You closed that road off when they did the development.
Yeah.
It's
It
right across
is.
from the church on Sherland Drive before you get to where Bowden Golf Course is. Before you get to the liquor store there, if you're coming from Macon out Sherland Drive, it's on your left. Where you remember where old Clark Field used to be? Yeah, right there in front of it. They developed that property, closed off the park and the road. It's in that strip mall there.
That's what,
That's the question, I think.
I mean, because to me, it sounded like she's gonna open it up as an event venue.
Yeah, it says
Then-
here consumed, applying for a consumed license. So without food there, you can't consume it on
No.
site.
Uh-uh.
Motion to postpone this one, Chairman, for more information.
I'll have her come to the next
Okay.
meeting.
Okay. Second. All right, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Wagner. Jason, you've got T-Splosh intergovernmental agreement?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. So I think last time I mentioned to the board that the governor had signed a law regarding single county T-Splosh that would allow a sixth year of collections. We didn't have to restart the whole process with the city, but we did have to, both boards or bodies would have to approve a new intergovernmental agreement. And so that's what you have before you here is the T-Splosh intergovernmental agreement that provides for 6 years of collections. Excuse me. In terms of what that does to your project list, if you flip over to page 66, the project list is there, and so the amounts have gone up. After we inserted the amount for the Highway 18 parking lot, there was, maybe $3.5 million left over, and so I just did a catch-all category that says transportation purposes as defined in OCGA 48.8.260. And so with this sixth year of collections, I just added to that amount. Everything else remains the same there. You've still got the 30% for dirt roads. You've still got the resurfacing projects. And then you'll have $5,761,077 for other T-Splosh eligible projects. The county total would be $16,500,000, and the city total at 25% would be $5.5 million.
Jason, I meant to ask you last time, do these individual projects have a percentage contingency in them, or are we considering that into the bottom, the one, purposes as defined?
So on the dirt road projects and the resurfacing projects, there is contingency built into those.
Good. Okay. I thought we had talked about that one time before.
Good deal. All right, well, if we can get a motion to approve this intergovernmental agreement, help me out here.
Intergovernmental agreement.
Thank you, sir.
I make a motion to, pass the intergovernment agreement between Jones County and the city of Gray.
We have a motion, we have a second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Wood. Any more discussion? None, all in favor, aye? All right. Resolution.
So state law says that the next step after you approve the intergovernmental agreement is to adopt a resolution, basically directing the election superintendent to place this item on the ballot. And so this resolution contains the ballot language. It also contains bond authorization, so it gives the board, it doesn't say you have to, but it does give you the option to issue bonds to pay for these projects so that you would get the money up front and be able to start a little sooner on them. So that is included in this resolution.
Okay. Ms. Vaughn, you did such a good job on the
I
last
make
one.
a motion to adopt the resolutions for the Board of Commissioners of the Jones County to impose, levy, or collect a transportation special purpose local option sales tax and use within Jones County.
A motion, we have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Wood. No more discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All right. Ms. Watson?
Good evening.
Hello.
So I sent an email to y'all 2 weeks ago now, I think it was, talking about what a group of us that went to the Rural Development Institute have been working on. Jason was part of that group along with Ashley Robertson, David Tufts, and James Collins from the city, and myself. And one of the things when we went to the Rural Development Institute that we realized was that everybody from the county and the city were both trying to find what their story was, who they were, how to identify themselves. And so with that information, we've sat in a couple meetings, we've had different businesses, marketing businesses come and talk to us or meet with us via Zoom about their proposals and what they can do to help us create a story that's shared amongst the city and the county. And so with that, we found one that we really liked, and y'all should have the packages for those. It is Total Marketing 365. And in our discussion, all parties are open to splitting the cost of this, because it would benefit both the city, the county, chamber, Main Street, DDA, Industrial Development Authority. So that's it. We want to go with 365. In the email I told y'all that we looked at the minor agency. We also reached out to the Carl Vinson Institute. They are not available until 2026. And then we also had someone from Valdosta State who is a brand and marketing professor through the RDI program. She submitted a price. Apparently government takes too long for her, so she backed out. So after further review, this is the one that we would like to go with. I'm open to any questions, thoughts, concerns. And if you look through, you'll see that they have like a a la carte package, so you can pick what you think is the most important and come up with a price. But if we do kind of what we were thinking, we're looking at $60,000. And again, that would be split up amongst the entities.
How many entities total? You had
City, county, chamber, development authority, Main Street Gray, and the Downtown Development Authority.
So 6 of us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Now, Main Street and DDA would probably be, since they go together hand in hand, they'd be considered probably one.
How about the county and development authority? Would they go?
No, I mean, we have some. And the other thing about this is when I go to different things or I try to pitch who Jones County is to people, you know, of course, we have a great school system comes up, but then there's really not a whole lot that we talk about. There's really not a story to go with that. Sometimes I get, oh, you're where everybody goes to hunt. You're where people stay at that hotel where they stay there and hunt, which that doesn't really apply anymore, but that's what people think. So I just want, it would just be great for us to have a story that resonates with all of our community that we're all proud of. And the other thing about 365 is they really want buy-in from the entire community. They don't just want, no offense, they just don't want the commissioners to say this is the one we like. They just don't want the city council. They want different demographics to be involved in this, and they have a great approach. Also, while you're looking through that, you can see that they've worked with multiple municipalities, and they've worked with joint municipalities to come up with different things.
Taylor County's is very unique.
It is. And the interesting thing about Taylor Counties is they didn't, so Butler is in there as well, and they were not really on board with doing all this, but then when they saw the direction it was heading, they were like, oh, we want to be a part of it. And I don't know which one's which, but if you look at them, one of them has the interstate in front of the tree, the other one has the interstate and the river in front of it, and it's because of what relates to them, but they all go together. They're all cohesive in their design. And just to be transparent, this is just coming up, like doing all the research, coming up with the story, and then the logo and taglines, and some design work to go with all of that. But that is not a website. That is not actually like putting anything like wraps or anything. They'll design the wraps, but that's not them putting them on there.
But it'll be 5 different designs.
It'll probably be more than 5.
Well, I
They'll-
meant 5 different entities designs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they'll all be cohesive. They'll all look like they go together.
Kind of like the Peach County one.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about this. I mean, that's why we did the temporary
Yeah. Sure.
logo
Yeah.
to get us to this point. I don't think we're going to beat the price doing it by ourselves. I mean, I think we get
Yeah.
some value by
That's it.
combining everybody together. I like that. And they definitely got a great resume.
Yeah, nice creativity in this.
And like I said in the email that I sent to y'all, Ashley Robertson and Mr. David Tufts and Mr. James Collins, they've already approached the city about this at one of their meetings. And from what Ashley told me, it seemed to go really well with them there. They seem to be on board, so it would just be figuring out how much each entity would pay, and then we would start the process, and there would be stakeholder meetings and community meetings and such.
I think we need a motion to go with the marketing partnership. Is
Yeah.
that what we call it?
Yeah, or a motion to,
I'm sorry?
How are we paying for it?
or a motion to devise the plan and bring back a cost to vote on.
Yeah, I think that would
Because I
probably
think
be
once we
good.
get all the sausage made, then we'll have the real numbers, right?
Right.
Okay.
I don't, did the city take a vote on it, or I think just a verbal go ahead?
Yeah, the
with it,
city
so-
didn't take a vote on
Okay,
it.
all right.
Yeah, I think just
Yep.
bringing back something we're,
Definitely,
consensus that we're on board and.
we're definitely interested,
come
for
back,
sure, because it's a lot of stuff we've got to offer.
Is that good enough for you, Hank?
So does that mean I bring it back at the third Tuesday and
You
tell
ain't
y'all?
ready, buddy.
Oh, I will. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Department head. You got something for the sheriff department?
No, I've spoken enough.
Are you sure? Mr. Petrowski, you hiding in the back?
Safer back here.
It's safer back there. Randy?
Same right there.
Now excited to get some more life in the ground.
And I'm glad to hear the prices have coming down. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 'Cause that sure whittles in that overage we had going into this project.
I've had a lot of great comments about those blue pipes laying down Highway 49 too, so.
Mm-hmm. Bert?
Exciting time at the rec department. June's a good month. We just had several of our teams, our youth baseball and softball teams participate in Little League district tournaments. We had one winner and 2 runners-up, and we got about 4 more teams left to play in June. We're gonna be hosting several tournaments the week of June 17th, and then we have our Independence Day extravaganza after that, so it's gonna be an exciting month for Jones County Parks and Rec.
Gonna be busy. Mr. Risner?
Two things real quick. I wanted to ask the board, we're kind of getting into budget season, the most exciting time of the year, and so I think there have been times in the past where we've done a Saturday type thing. I think last year we did it during the week. Would y'all be available to do it during the week if we did that, or do we need to look for a Saturday?
Friday worked well last year.
Because during the summer, Fridays, I can work on Friday.
Okay.
Easy, yeah.
Yep,
Friday's okay.
yep, sounds good to me.
Okay, I'll
Y'all
find.
even working during the summer, Andy?
I said Fridays, thank you. And then I'm thinking about, that's my mountain time that I give it to y'all.
The other thing I was going to mention real quick, we've got the enterprise vehicle thing that we've used to dispose of some of our old vehicles. We weren't getting a great return that way, and so we've kind of shifted gears on the disposal of our vehicles. We are using Gov Deals now, and so if there are people in the community that are interested in bidding on some of those, you can register for a Gov Deals account. Lots of interesting stuff on there, both from here and all over that you can look at and bid on. So you can go in there and search by zip code and find our items there. So we're just kind of easing into that, but you'll start to see more and more there. When we get back to the leased vehicles, those do have to go back to enterprise to be disposed of. But for our old vehicles that we've always owned, we'll be able to dispose of that way.
All right, thank you.
Jason, can we put other stuff on there besides vehicles?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Wagner, you got anything tonight? All right. If no more, citizens' comments. Any citizens tonight?
Real quick. I started to leave a minute ago, but I just want to stick around. I think it was about 3 years ago that I heard pickleball mentioned tonight. About 3 years ago, we came and started talking about pickleball. And of course, the first question is what is pickleball? Well, I think most people in Jones County know what it is now.
Everywhere.
Yeah. It's, I just want to thank you guys for putting that in motion and redoing those tennis courts. There's a Tuesday and Thursday night men's league going, Monday, Wednesday night, or I think it's Monday, Wednesday night, women's league going right now. In fact, they're down there playing right now. But something that's amazing that has happened, and Bert can back me up on this, probably about, 7:30 or 8 o'clock,
I know what you're gonna say, and I was gonna say it if you didn't.
there's so many young people,
Yes.
middle schoolers,
50.
middle schoolers and high schoolers are showing up down there, playing pickleball and hanging out. And I mean, it's incredible. I didn't expect that, but it's been phenomenal. So
It's like a shift change.
it really is. So it's been a great thing. Again, I thank y'all for that. So I'm going to be back here in August supporting this guy when he comes because we need more pickleball courts.
In Baldwin County building some right now?
They're in the process. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's huge. I mean, there's 32 in the old mall in Macon. You know, been there to play some. Twiggs County's got about 3 courts in a location down there. It's you know, it's grown, but it, especially with the kids playing in the evenings, we need more courts. So I just wanted to throw that out there. And
I've been surprised too about the age, when it started being my children's age group, the 20s and 30-year-olds out there. I thought, oh my God. And then hearing all of the younger kids now playing too.
Yeah.
They're having their own little tournaments. They bring poster boards out there and everything else and draw up brackets.
Wow.
So-
I think
you.
it's the quickest growing sport, I think, going right now.
They say not only is it the quickest growing sport now, but it's the quickest growing sport in the history of sports. No sport has ever grown that fast. And the reason why is because it reaches all demographics,
all ages.
all genders, all ages, all socioeconomic. So
I also just had a huge tournament where one of the national players got disqualified and fined. Y'all hear about that one? Had tar on his paddle.
oh man, I did hear.
That was all over national news.
About pickleball.
Pickleball.
Wow. Any other citizens? Ms. Vaughn, you want to lead us off on commissioner comments tonight?
I hope everybody is got travel plans to go and relax and sit back and toes in the sand, or sitting in the swing in the mountains, or just a quality times with your family and friends, because that's what's important. I think we're doing some great things. I think there's some things that we are trying to improve on with many different aspects around Jones County, and I hope that it's being seen, not just through our eyes, but through everybody's eyes. So, Ashley, we've missed you here today. I've not had Ashley nor Daylon beside me tonight to punch, so I've missed both of them here tonight. And,
I missed you too.
all right, good.
Was
Bro-
Daylon on, is Daylon on there
Daylon
too?
on the- No,
Oh, sorry.
He's on the ride across Georgia.
Bragg ride.
Yeah.
On the bicycle across
Riding
there.
the bicycles across the state of Georgia, and he had a group that was with him that had not made it in yet. So that's why he's not here tonight. So, other than that, enjoy some summer vacation waves and hot heat out there, and stay hydrated.
Commissioner Wood?
All right. You know, tonight we approved some water for Sam's district, Graham Woods area, but I want to remind everybody, we do have the needs of water in Bradley and Haddock. Had a conversation with Wendy about water that would help District 2 and 3 in the eastern part of Jones County, and so I look forward to some good things coming out of that. Also, as everybody knows, your tax assessment notices have come out, and so I'm reaching out to this board. Let's look at our budget very carefully, see how we can lower our millage rate as our assessments rise. I've commented on a few people's pages when they made various, you know, they were kind of upset, but I kind of explained how it is. Your assessments are rising to more what the property's worth. We have the duty to look at the millage rate as we go through our budget to see how we can help give those taxpayers and everybody some relief. And I mentioned that, and I'll get out of my lane a little bit and say City of Gray has their evaluations and their millage rate and their budget to look at too. So does the Board of Education. So it gives everybody a little bit of tax relief as we go through this process. But that's all I have tonight.
Commissioner Kitchens?
Not a lot, Chairman. I just very thankful, grateful, and happy to do the National Law Enforcement Week proclamation. I don't think, I know people that live here say, man, we got a great sheriff's department. Man, we sleep good at night. Man, we don't have the crime. Man, we don't have this. There's a reason for it, and it all starts and ends with the sheriff's department, and it's a holistic view that they take. So it's not just one prong, it's so many things that they do, and I see it working in other counties with the struggles they have with police departments and sheriff's departments and campus police departments and stuff. Starts at home, goes with the kids all the way to the school, comes back out on our streets. If it's in the neighborhood, it's in our neighborhood, and that's tough. So to know that we have a sheriff's department that for so long has done so much, it's very refreshing to know that we can keep saying, I sleep good at night.
That's it.
And there's not enough thanks to go around for that. So
Absolutely.
thank y'all to the sheriff's department.
I echo that too. But if there's nothing else tonight, I need some help.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second. Y'all scared me. I didn't think you were gonna give me all in favor, aye?
Aye.